Hi, everybody. It's January 9th, 2026. What I've learned about studying is that when you are aware of your habits when studying, when you are focusing in on something and you could feel yourself retaining that information, and when you are repeating stuff to commit it to memory, studying whatever it may be, if you do it diligently enough and long enough, you will notice certain mental habits that you have, and it's getting to know what these mental habits are that can help you in other areas. That's why learning something isn't just important because you're learning about a specific thing. When you're learning and studying something, you're learning your mental habits. Like I just said, you're learning how that ties into emotion. You're learning how your memory operates and what is the strengths and weaknesses of your memory. So when you are studying, you get the opportunity to almost be intimate with your mind. Not intimate romantically, but intimate as being close, as it being a tangible kind of experience where uh, the mechanisms that are the mechanisms that are apparati of your mind. You get to see how they work and how you could utilize them, not necessarily manipulate them, but utilize them in other areas of your life. So this gets me to thinking about what is not true about the spirit bank. And what I mean is, for the first example, is the spirit bank is something that we receive grace from, that we receive blessings, and we store up good occurrences. So the most obvious thing is many people, once they start to follow God, or once they feel like they have an understanding of how God is in their lives, they believe that just by doing good, that your life will get better, that you will be blessed, and that things will be easier because you are doing good and because you are doing the right things consistently. And to a degree, this is of course obviously true, but when it comes to the spirit bank, like you're paying your dues and you're accumulating good things happening to you by doing good things, that's not exactly how it works, because uh, what God gives us, what He offers us for believing in Him, the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit, what He offers us is a prize, or a reality, or an experience that is great, eternal, and fulfilling, and beautiful, and deeply refreshing, and just awesome. And so when you think about that, yes, you will receive good things for being a follower of God. But just because you do good things consistently doesn't mean that your life is going to be easier, or bad things won't happen to you, or that you got rid of horrible events in your future necessarily, because maybe or maybe not, of course. What does happen though, when you do good things consistently, is you are training your mind to be a benevolent person, to be a follower of God. And so you're training your mind. So He's going to increase that training. He's going to nurture that training. So even if you are doing good things consistently, you are going to go through trials and hardships. And it's going to be hard to stick to God at some points, because there's going to be whispers and there's going to be arguments against having faith in God. There's going to be spurned feelings of having to go through hardships when you have been doing the best out of anybody that you know. You're the brightest star to all your circle of friends and family, and you still have to suffer. You're going to have questions. You're going to walk away from your faith for a little bit, and hopefully walk back. But that's one of the false things about the spirit bank. Another false belief about the spirit bank is that is you in particular. You once you believe, and once you have faith, you believe that you're set. You believe that you're going to be the same throughout your life, but that's not the case. You are going to change. You're going to have understanding of things from different sides. there's going to be gray areas that can are trying to convince you to throw everything away and start to be more practical, or in other words, be more worldly. And so with the spirit bank, you think that you when you start out, or when you have a lot of faith, you think you're never going to even consider turning against your walk of faith, but you are. Even the best of us do. And then what happens when you even consider walking away? The guilt is going to pop up right away, and it's going to try to convince you that because you even thought about turning away, now you can't even turn back to God. You have no other option but to leave God. And you're going to have to contest with these feelings and these arguments that try to pull you away from your spirituality, from your walk in life with God. And you're going to have to come back again and again sometimes. And just because you have paid into the spirit bank doesn't mean that you're not going to be tested or seduced to walk away from that life. And the best thing to do is just to take your time and to listen, and to have an understanding of the situation, and just wait and keep on going forward. And the doubt will pass. You know, the feeling of insecurity in your path is going to pass, and you're going to walk along forward as if nothing happens once you get over it. And I guess the last thing I could say about the falsities of the spirit bank is that the hardships that you believe God is going to take away from you are like the obvious ones. You believe that you aren't going to be poor anymore. You believe that you aren't going to be alone anymore. You believe that you aren't going to be disabled anymore. You believe that you're not going to be ugly or overweight, or I'm not saying anybody's ugly, but this is what people think of themselves. You know, all of these hard and simple things that we believe that are going to dissipate once we believe in God, they won't go away in the sense that you think they will. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But these are the core lessons that drive your spirituality deeper into higher heights, into different levels of understanding. If you believe in God, if you have faith in God, sometimes He'll go around what is blocking you. If you believe that you are unworthy, He'll go around that by making you go through the harshest criticisms, the most damning words that anybody could say to you. He'll put that in your face. But once you make it through that, your issues with your shortcomings are going to be resolved, and you are going to elevate to a higher understanding in the spiritual life. So just because you believe in God, the simple things, the things that impede you more up front, are going to dissipate, but in a more boots on the ground kind of way. So I hope this helps. Thanks.